Oh. Okay, excellent. Right, a little panic. Just continue world number 9. Welcome to Eco. Excellent. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenixon. Welcome to Eco. Yeah, that is coming through. Excellent. So this is a game that I picked up in the Steam sale, along with a whole bunch of other games, like Slay the Spire and Mad Max, finally. All kinds of things. And I picked this up. It's something that's been going around in my mind at the moment, having sort of these sort of survival games reflect your impact on the environment a little bit. And Eco seems to be the only one that does it. I think most people just kind of consider that people won't be interested in that sort of thing. You'll be surprised. So anyway, there's a whole lot of really interesting things here, but anyway, so when you first come in, it looks very much like your pretty much standard survival Minecraft style thing. You've got a research system, you've got things that you place down to make things. It's all, what we've seen before time and time and time again. There's also a claiming system, so you can claim your own plots of land. This is more for multiplayer style of things. I think I'm not completely certain how stockpiles work, because some machines seem to be able to pull from some stockpiles but not others, so I'm not completely certain what's going on there. There's a few issues. There are issues with the game. But when we start getting into the whole idea, well, you saw it back there. That is my iron mine. In most games, you'll have little bits of rock that just sort of end up in your inventory somewhere inside you, and then you can walk up to a chest and put your rock inside the chest. This game does not do that. You've got items that can be stored in chests, small items, and they can also be stored in stockpiles. Large items can only be stored in stockpiles. That's bad. Tailings out. No. Tailings need to go inside. I don't know why it's done that. Tailings are like your rubbish left over from smelting. And yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute of why that was bad. Anyway, so so you got your small items, you got big items. Small items can be stored in stockpiles and in chests. Large items can only be stored in stockpiles. I'm not completely certain, as I said, how stockpiles work, because they seem to kind of link up to various different places in a very, very odd fashion. But anyway, so they've seen me put in some iron. Your standard crafting recipe type of thing is abided by. However, we start getting into the eco part of this game. Around the time when you start getting iron, but probably even before that. If you kill too many animals, those animals aren't going to replenish. If you kill too many plants, those plants aren't going to replenish. It's going to start affecting the world. You have to plant things in the right place, otherwise they don't get the water and they don't get the nutrients out of the soil that they need in order to grow. Iron can only be gathered in certain places, and as you saw from the state of the iron mine, I've shifted an awful lot of rock out of the ground, and I've just placed it on the ground. Not even in a stockpile. I can just place it on the ground. So you've got stacks of material that's down there, and I've pulled it all out in order just to get to the precious iron. When you smelt iron, tailings get left behind. If you leave that on dirt, it seeps into the groundwater and starts affecting the world. This suddenly gets interesting. I am currently making myself an anvil. That's what I'm working towards there. But also what is needed to be done is a few other bits and pieces. I need to get some trees so I can get another one of these up. Mainly because I want to start grinding sandstone into sand, which I would start doing now. I want to start grinding that sandstone into sand, and start grinding that sand into mortar. Mortar is going to be used for a research that I am currently doing to get a book. When you research an item, you get a book, which you can get a scroll out of. If you learn that scroll, you can then use that to put that into a skill. Now, skills are a bit different in this game. So, stars allow you to unlock skills. So, your stars are basically done over time. Character XP, as this levels up, you unlock more stars. Your stars then allow you to unlock more skills. The higher your XP multiplier, based on your food and your house value, that will make you get those stars quicker. These items above, these specialities, are what you spend your stars on, and they improve elements about yourself and about your crafting skills. These can only be gained through crafting things, but your crafting thing is based on your multiplier, your XP multiplier. Sounds more complicated than it is. It's a fairly simple system, really. Ultimately, it boils down to the better your multiplier, the better your XP gain. Your character XP is gained over time, and the other ones are gained through actually crafting things or doing things. Excellent. And we've got more of these tailings outside. Don't put them outside, for goodness sake. I need to sort that out. But first of all, oh, the other thing you can do, you can order that, and that will make something up to however many things it's got in it. So you can start off a craft, and I've got more tailings in there. I don't want tailings in there. Right, I need to build more storage. Right. This I suspected this might come. So very, very quick tour, I guess. So I've got a bunch of houses here. Certain crafting benches need to be put into houses. So as a result, I built this, which is my main house, and it's got all kinds of useful things inside it. Various things we might be visiting at some point during this stream, who knows. But yeah, and you'll also see piles of wood around, because I can just build a pile of wood and just have it nearby for whatever purpose. Right, I need trees. I need wood to get some things online. Obviously, chopping down trees will give you wood, but that will also remove a tree from the world. The only way to get back trees is to plant them and wait. Trees take a very, very long time to grow. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's the basics anyway. You do have a backpack, you do have a hotbar. Okay. So, yeah, as I said, I need to get wood. If I get some wood, let me just think. Yeah, if I get the wood, then I can get the mill up. Yeah, the stone thing up. Get the mortar built, and yeah, I have some plans. Put it that way. You saw, right at the start, saw the state of where all my stuff is sort of kept. That I have a plan for. Ultimately, what I want to do is build a house there, so that I can start grinding all that sandstone there into sand, and the sand into mortar. So that will be one thing that will be going on down there. I've also got a sandstone mine up here as well, in a couple of places actually, but down there is the main sandstone mine. Right, okay, so let's get this. I've got to find out what I need to actually make here, because it is a thing I need to make, but I can't remember which one I do it in. Masonry table, here we go. I need one more stone. Apparently I don't have one more stone. I must have one more stone. Really? Do I not have... Pull it out there, process that. That gets it made into that. And then I get one of them. And that will want one of the logs that I grabbed. Right, so that's logs in. Second thing I want to do is I just want to light some of my torches that I've got going in here. That's going to increase my multiplier. Well, I had another one up here. Oh no, it's down here. There we go. Right, so that's burning there. Next thing I need to do with these is make a stockpile. A small stockpile or a large stockpile? Let's have a large one. Yep, that'll do. And where's my masonry table gone? Yes, that does work. Excellent. Let's make that into mortar. It's going to make us lots of mortar, which is good because I'm going to need lots of mortar because I'm going to have to move some things around. I've got loads of sandstone, so I'm going to make a house out of sandstone. The other thing that I've also got to watch out for is my food levels. If that little circle thing in the corner goes too small, then I won't be able to work anymore. Work as in mining, chopping, that sort of thing. Not even fishing. If you run out of food, you can't even fish, because it's considered work. You can still carry things, and you can obviously forage things. So I do tend to like to keep a good supply of fish, just going in general. So in here, we put our clean fish, and if I go out here, my thing ran out of fuel. I think, yeah. Where did I put the logs? Right. So we put this into there. That makes us fish, tasty fish, yeah. Excellent. I'm just going to eat a couple of those mushrooms. Mushrooms do actually regrow, so that's not a problem. Corn, on the other hand, I've had some issues with corn, but it's in progress. Right, so what do I need? I need 50 mortar and 11 mortared stones in order to finish that one up. So I think we go and yeah. So we've eaten what we can for the moment. We've got some fish cooking. So yeah, and, go over here. Now I do have access to carts as well. There's no boats, no rafts for some reason in this game. Which is a bit of a shame. So I would have liked to have at least a raft in order to be able to put supplies onto my onto the put iron onto the raft, move the raft over rather than having to keep on going back and forth. So I think my plan is going to be a fairly good one. So I just had the sort of the fleeting idea to actually build a bridge, basically. Build a bridge from here over to here. I could probably do that with the amount of stone that I've got. 200 meters, yeah, I guess. If a block is a meter long, yeah, it should work in theory. Oh, you know, I can give it a go. It may not be particularly pretty, but yeah, no, like a sandstone bridge extending out. So at the very least, so that I've got less ground to sort of swim on. Yeah, I can give it a go. But for now, I just need to get something up so that I can move over there and start smelting. Right, so sandstone. Let's process that sand. Oh no! I'm going to process this sandstone anyway because I need it for other things. Yeah, so I need it for the mortared stone. I think it's. I need more of that basically, but I also need some of this. So let me take this. I've also been playing Fallout 2 again, which has been going interestingly because turns out if you don't have the sort of the patch on it and sort of the restoration project, the game is difficult just in the fact that there's an awful lot missing from it. I've been watching Many a True Nerd play it, and so you can kind of see the huge gaps as a result of just the game not being as finished as it could have been. Like an awful lot seems to have been cut from the game, which is a real shame. Right, okay, so this just needs 11 mortar stone, which I think we could probably do. I've actually almost leveled up my mortar skill, which is nice. Let's see what we have. Baked mortar. Oh, and this one's apparently done. Place that there. Okay. Oh, this is so bank we don't need, but oh, a cast iron stove. Oh, there's some good things in here. Copper pipes. I read about that. That is yeah, transporting liquid. So if you've got sewage and you wanted to transport your liquid around, you could do that. That's fine. Let me just see. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, so and there's like iron pipes, treasury allows setting taxes, but no, things like the wall lamp, the sawmill. Ooh, that just needs logs and iron. That's not bad. Excuse me, no, you'll be fine. You're not kind of seeing all the bits and pieces that are now popping up. So yeah, things like the wall candles, all that sort of thing. Oh, and we've leveled up. So what happens when you level up is these things sort of improve. Now, I don't want to do this yet. Increases the tier requirement of tables by 0.2%, but reduces the resources needed by 10%. Some buildings require certain types of things. So, for example, this sawmill used to saw wood into lumber. It must be contained within a room with 25 meters cubed free in the room, and it's 0.8 tier 1 average room tier. So most of my rooms are currently tier 1. So actually that would be fine in a tier 1 room. But yeah, I don't want to do that yet, just in case. But yeah, there's quite a lot of good stuff in here. Specifically things like the cast iron stove consumes 10 watts from fuel, and it goes in the kitchen, but it does need a tier 2 room, which that's going to be a bit of a problem, which is why we need the bricklaying in here. If we can do that, we can make bricks, we can start upgrading some of these rooms. I think you kind of gather what's going on here. Oh yeah, and there's the asteroid. Where's the asteroid? I don't know if we can see the asteroid. Basically, there is an asteroid in a death spiral towards the planet. In 30 days, and that's not in-game days, that's real-world days. It's in 30 days, the asteroid will hit the planet. The aim is to get your civilization to the point where it can survive the asteroid, essentially. So it's got the technology level to survive the asteroid. However, it's also got to get there without polluting the planet that we're on. And that's where the problems start, basically. So, I need more iron. I need more everything. Need more of that. Okay, I'll nip down here. I should have some stone that I can use. So you break stone and it just kind of turns into shards. I like this idea because when you are hunting for iron, you're breaking through all of this and you're getting very, very annoyed that you can't find the iron that you need. But when it all comes out, you just kind of take it all out at the top and then you just stack it up. And I like that. I like that sort of idea of just it's mess, basically. Everything is very messy and you've got to work out what to do with some things, and there are going to be some things that you can't get rid of ultimately. I can't get rid of the tailings, for example. All I can do is store them, so that's something that I'm going to have to consider properly. Building some kind of a storage facility to put all of the stuff that I can't deal with yet. I think yet is sort of the big sort of thing. That obviously eventually I will be able to do something with them, but I'm not to that point yet. So I need 11 mortar stones. So I need 31 stone. Which I should be able to do fairly easily because I've made a load of it. It needs 11 stone. There we go. And let's put that stone into the stockpile. I get this, and then so 11 stones. Then these go upstairs. And everybody is reasonably happy. Excellent. So that's now should be finishing up. It's got everything that it needs now. What's that one? Oh, advanced smelting. I thought it said automated smelting. Smelting is technically already automated. All these machines will run without your intervention as well. The campfire will shut down when it's cooked all of that you've asked it to cook, so it doesn't waste fuel. The systems are all reasonably automated, basically. Right, let's start making the sandstone that I'm going to need for my next big project, which is sort of it's going to start off as just a facility for making mortar. And then it can sort of branch out from there. Problem is that I'm going to have to take it over bit by bit, which, yeah, just need to add a raft. Okay, so mortar sandstone. Oh, and the bricklaying skill book project is complete, so we can have a look at that, which is in this house here. So now this building can be upgraded to be. I've started to put glass in there instead of the windows. The windows are nice, but the glass is tier 2. So that is the bricklaying skill book. So we use that. We also take fish. So I got the new skill of bricklaying and 5 land claim papers. Don't really need to worry about that one. Shard fish. Right. Okay. There's a durability system. You can still use your tools after you've broken them, which I'm not completely certain what the durability system is there for if it's apparently not working properly. But I'm sure there's some reason for it. Now let's get what we need out of here. Mortar sandstone apparently done. Can I start making bricks? That's the question. Brick. Okay, so I need clay and okay. I think I've got a bit of clay, but I used a load of it to make clay pots because I have issues with having enough storage, basically. There must be a better way to haul things from one island to another, apart from just building bridges, which may end up being the solution. I don't know how it's going to support doing things like, well, supports. It doesn't seem to have any structural integrity systems in place, so I don't know quite how things will go. Right, okay, so hammer, and we place. I'm gonna place it here, I think. So let's start off with some stairs. Be civilized. So yeah, some stairs. Then we can go into having a doorway. I don't want to have it too big because obviously I've got to set it all up, but 3x3 inside should be fine. Unfortunately, all my stuff I need to carry manually. This is not going to be a long stream. In fact, I'm probably going to end it about here. It's so hot. So hot. It's just, oh, for goodness sake, it's 30 degrees in this flat. This is one of those things where, you put the washing on and it's dry within the day. This is not normal for England. But, we just need more games like this, and then maybe the politicians will wise up that actually it's not the people. For so long now, the message has been to recycle, and that's not the message anymore. It shouldn't be the message anymore. The message is not to recycle, because we're doing that anyway. We are recycling so much. The problem is that it gets recycled by companies who ship it off to other countries to be recycled, but it never actually gets there. It always ends up being dumped. So yeah, I'm not certain the message is to recycle anymore. It's more to keep recycling, obviously, but it's more for companies, I think, to and governments to be a little bit more responsible. Ultimately, unfortunately, I don't think there's much responsibility by our government. Certainly, it's always somebody else's problem, someone else's fault. This week has not been particularly enthusing from a political standpoint from the United Kingdom. When you've got Tommy Robinson being sent to prison. If you don't know who he is, I don't blame you. Is the leader of the UKIP party. He used to be the leader of the BNP, and he reported on a court case when a judge had said, don't report on this court case, because it's a problem with some cases where you've got this trial by media, and so a judge will occasionally, dependent purely on the case, but occasionally they will say that it's not to be reported on in order to ensure a fair trial, in order to ensure that there isn't going to be a mistrial. And anyway, so he reported on this. The judge, on this case, that the judge had explicitly told everyone not to do, and he got charged with contempt, which was interesting, which resulted in he gets a prison sentence. And there were some rather nasty, they'll call it protest, but what it really was a riot, from what I read. Journalists and police were attacked in the street by his supporters. Bottles, cans, that sort of thing. And and sort of doing things like your typical, not quite flag burning, but sort of tearing up EU flags and claiming that the justice system is corrupt. All stuff complaining about a law that was brought in by the British. The very thing that they're all for, they're actually against when it's targeted at them. Blaming the EU for a contempt law that actually isn't used much elsewhere. As far as I can tell, only a few countries in the world use it, and not many countries in the EU use it. So it is a law that was brought into effect by British courts in 1980, something like that. So yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting to see that, that the very thing that these people want, they also hate at the same time, because I don't know, because the law isn't being used to benefit them, which is something that we see with an awful lot of the politicians that are in the running for being Prime Minister in the UK. They're basically out for themselves. And that's a shame, at least they could be subtle about it, I guess. But anyway, we need more games like this. We need more games like Democracy. These sorts of games that really do sort of shine a light on what's going on the problems that are being caused by politicians and companies and corporations. Anyway, right. Okay. So well, I do have the clay for it. Let's get a brick up, and I can put that in. No, don't do that. No, yes, that. So aiming can be a little interesting in this game. You're pointed at something, but yeah, it does some weird things. Anyway, let's also add some mortar, which we should be able to get, considering that this one could see it, but for some reason this thing can't. Right. Okay. But yeah, such is life at the moment. Maybe things will get better. I think July 22nd we find out when Boris is going to move into Downing Street, because it is going to be Boris. Hunt's not going to win this, unfortunately. So yeah, so Boris will get into Parliament, into PM Hood. So maybe by sort of October 31st, when we find out if we are actually leaving the EU or not. This way it's going to be a no deal, but it's just like in the UK at the moment, we've just basically got this axe hanging over our head, and nobody can really do anything, sort of make plans, or the government is sort of saving all this money, but while all this money is being saved, it's also not going to the places where it's needed, like schools and parks and all that sort of thing. It's just this sort of massive war chest, as they call it, that's being stocked up, and and this money just kind of sits in a bank somewhere, not doing anything, when it could actually be out, paying for all the police that we desperately need, paying for the education systems that we desperately need. Ooh, that's a bit weird. But unfortunately, that's not the case at the moment. I'm going to get up here and just drop this stuff off, and then I'm going to end this video here. You kind of get the point with Eco, I think. There's an awful lot of there's quite a bit of grind, I have to say, even on the sort of the first person. It's designed for multiplayer, but there is a sort of single player mode which I am playing. It's a little grindy. There's certainly an awful lot to sort of get your head around, and there's not necessarily the support out there for the game to really explain what's going on. Certainly there are areas where it's lacking. It needs rafts, or some kind of a boat, so that when you are having to move resources from one island to another, it's easier. Even if it's slower than, say, building a bridge, the option really should be there to allow people to use a raft to get their resources from one place to another. But yeah, I think you get the point anyway. So that's been Eco. I have some bricks now. I don't really know what I can do with them. Everything by the looks of things. Ooh, I can do all sorts of things with them. These. Excellent. Well, I'm going to knock out a wall. Let's just place them there. I'm going to knock out this wall. pick up, which will immediately tell everything to. But why can't I drop? There we go. For some reason I can't drop it when I'm carrying a thingy. Anyway, let's put a wall in. See what it looks like. I can't really see, but yeah, it looks bricky. And I would assume this. Yeah, so my tier has gone up by 0.1%. So if I made the entire ground floor out of brick, like I'm planning on doing, then that would bump its tier up a bit. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.